Hello, everybody. I am Pedro.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Gritty Reboot. Today we are talking about the 2024 Oscar broadcast and the results and what they have done to the world of cinema. Or just how we interpret things.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
So, straight up, how'd you feel about the broadcast?
I liked last year's show a little bit more.
Yeah.
But this year was pretty good, too.
Did you want anyone to be slapped?
No, I didn't want anybody to be slapped. Nobody deserves to be slapped during the Oscars.
No, I agree with you. I don't think anyone necessarily deserves a slap at the Oscars. I wouldn't slap anyone. I wouldn't slap myself during the Oscars.
Maybe Joe Biden. He deserves a slap.
You would slap Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Why would you slap Joe Biden?
Because he's an asshole.
But he's an old man. You just can't go around slapping old guys.
Yeah, well, he hides behind that.
He hides behind his oldness?
Yeah.
I don't know many people that hide behind their oldness, but now I know of something new in the world.
Yeah, he's pretending to be all feeble.
It's a gag.
Yeah.
You're onto him. He's not going to get away with it.
Guy.
Yeah, you're onto him at this point. Okay, so you're on like a Secret Service watch list for what just occurred right now.
I know, right?
Yeah, they're going to be like, no, we're coming after this lady. We know everything that's going on. Yeah. So, with that being said, I think award-wise, I was pretty pleased.
Yeah, you did like it.
Yeah, I think I was pretty pleased.
Yeah, I liked the musical numbers and stuff. Of course, last year had that big Indian number that I really liked.
Yeah, there wasn't any Indian films nominated this year. Why? Racism. No, I don't know. I don't know what kind of year it was for Indian cinema, but they did not have a representation this year, so we didn't get a quite a number like that one.
No.
So, it is what it is.
I'll live, though. It was a pretty good show.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a nice show. So, I think it started off, we had a pretty nice, fairly uneventful monologue by Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
I think, he's grown to be a decent host. I don't necessarily hate Kimmel. He's not one of my favorite people. But I don't dislike him, I suppose,
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say he's ever like won me over. I think you agree.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his. I don't think he's very funny. He did that stupid man show or whatever.
Yeah, it was the man show. I think that's just what they called it, the man show.
Yeah, it was
the show of man.
Super misogynistic.
It was, but that was the gag. That was the gag. When they thought things were too PC in the 90s, they were pushing back against that. Now they feel differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe I don't know how they feel about it.
I don't know. I haven't asked him.
I know one host is very much like the world is PC and it's terrible, but Kimmel seems to have embraced a lot of that. So and he's doing all right. He did a pretty decent job.
Yeah, he kept things moving.
He did a pretty decent job, and then he has a very nice running gag of him hating Matt Damon that continued at the very end of the show. But we'll get there. So the show, I do believe, started out with actress in the supporting role.
Yeah.
Do you believe that, or am I lying?
No, that's true. I think it started with the old supporting actress role. And what did you think of the winner, Divine?
So the thing I think I thought was interesting is how they presented the award.
Mm-hmm.
Is this award was presented by, they had 5 previous winners, correct?
Yeah.
They all came out and they said something very nice about the nominee they were there to talk about.
Yeah.
And we got this in lieu of clips, right?
Uh-huh.
We didn't actually see like the quote unquote Oscar clip when it came to any of the acting categories. And that was a change that I don't know how you felt about it. I know a lot of people weren't necessarily down with it, but at the end of the day, I think it was something a little bit different. We've all seen the big Oscar clip, the cliche at this point, like you just sort of clip the most dramatic point of the movie. Like, if you've never seen that movie, that can be just like, whoa, what's going on, right?
Yeah, I like the clips.
But the thing is, if you've never seen a movie, you can be like, oh, okay, I can see why she was nominated.
Yeah, exactly.
But they didn't have that this year, so I'm asking how you felt about that. Do you feel betrayed? Do you feel like you got a lesser show because of you didn't get those clips?
I do like the clips.
Okay.
So maybe that's why I didn't like it as much as I did last year.
Because of the clips?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get a chance to look at every nominee. It makes the show move faster.
Yes, it does.
It makes the show move faster.
We were done pretty early.
Yeah, well, they did start an hour earlier. We didn't mention that. Sorry, yeah. But they started about an hour earlier than normal, which was actually a pretty nice thing. I think the show ended 7:45 Pacific time. out in LA. Yeah, so it ended just a little after 9:30 for us, which is because they were able to squeeze in a show afterwards, kind of like they do with the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea at all if we're going to be really honest about it. There's no reason the show should go deep into the night if you live on the East Coast.
Yeah, no shit.
And that's always been a problem. Years in the past, I mean, it was known to go an hour plus overtime. It really, I'd have to take a look at what's the furthest it ever had gone over. But we haven't had that kind of overage with the Academy Awards in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, the format that we have now is pretty solid. I'd love to see that timing format continue.
I did like that they were all positive about everybody, the actors that would talk about the nominees.
Yeah.
I like how positive everybody was. And
I agree, yeah.
it was nice, but I like the clip, so maybe they can do a little bit of both.
A little bit of both to kind of work in a little bit more from before.
Yeah.
And still have like a presenter talk about it.
Maybe like you're presenting for best sound. You don't have to play a clip.
But but here's the thing though. I think the best sound was one of the best moments of the night. Were you paying attention to that? So they presented, I know we're skipping ahead a little bit, but they presented best sound. And when they did it, they dropped all the sound out of the building and they just played the clip without the dialogue or anything. So you could just hear the sound design of the background of the film. So you could understand how rich or important it was. And they played, I just forgot the name of the movie, the Nazi one.
Oh, Zone of Interest.
Thank you. The interesting zone. And they played it and it was great because it was this serene sequence with like a little boy and there was a flower in the foreground. A little boy was playing in the background and underneath like the sounds of what you would normally associate with that were the sounds of the genocide in the camp in the distance. And it was such a haunting way of presenting that reality to their world that the sound design presents to you, tells you the story of. That's why it was important. I think that won, if I do recall.
It did.
And yeah, exactly. Like that was a very cool moment, the way they presented that. And that was a great use of a clip. And like I said, I'm talking to you about it right now because I thought it was super cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to all that. I did hear the screams.
Yeah.
The distant screams. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on here?
No, I just thought it was a really interesting way to present it. I was very, very pleased with that.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool that you noticed that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm sorry. Back to actress supporting role. Who won again? I'm sorry.
Divine Joy Randolph.
Divine Joy Randolph. She's great in The Holdovers. Just fantastic. Well, this is one of those that we talked about where I wasn't going to be disappointed in any way whoever happened to win this category. You know, like however it turned out was however it turned out. You know.
Yeah, I thought her performance was pretty powerful. I enjoyed The Holdovers a great deal, and her grief and everything is palpable in the movie.
Yeah, no, it very much is. Like I said, it really is a performance that is able to deliver so much. So once again, there wasn't any bad person to give this award to. It wasn't like last year where we sort of felt about Ana de Armas, right? Mm-hmm. Like if she'd have got that award, we'd be like, hey, what the fuck? That wasn't the case here at all for this category. So after that, we had animated short, and this was presented by the Furiosa cast, Chris Hemsworth and Anya Taylor-Joy, who both looked fantastic.
Yeah, as they always do.
Yeah. Who do you think looked the best?
Out of the whole night?
Yeah, ever, I mean. Yeah, and the whole night.
Maybe Margot Robbie?
Yeah, I liked Ryan Gosling in his Ken performance suit. That's how he should always be remembered. If they made that action figure, I would buy that version of Ken. I thought that was really impressive. I thought Emily Blunt's dress was really weird. You know how the hoops kind of sat above her shoulders? You know what I'm talking about? I know it's not a hoop, but you know fashion.
Yeah.
Like the strap was just like
it kind of
levitating. It looked like it looked like it was like an old video game. And like the clothes she had on didn't fit the sprite just right, so they're just hanging up there.
It's like
it was a glitch.
Designed the dress, designed it standing up.
Yeah.
And then didn't think that person would actually ever sit down.
Yeah. But that's okay. I showed you that one clip of Dua Lipa at that award show where she like couldn't really sit down at all.
Yeah.
She just kind of slouched a little bit in a big chair, and that was all the relief she could have until she got to her hotel room, I guess. But yeah, no, that was one. No, I sort of agree with you about Margot Robbie.
Yeah,
she looked great. I don't know if you saw, and or also if you saw Emily Ratajkowski at like I'll show you her at the Post Awards. Like she wore a dress with like her boobs almost hanging out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was one of those where like it completely caught my eye, and it was like a joke the day after. All right, so who won animated short?
Best animated short film, War is Over, inspired by the music and John blah, blah, blah.
We didn't see it. We didn't have a pick. Sorry.
Yeah, not much we can say there. What else happened?
After that, we had animated feature film, also same presenters, and this one was not Spider-Verse, sadly, which was my pick. It ended up being
The Boy and the Heron.
The Boy and the Heron. This is Miyazaki.
Yeah, not surprised.
Yeah, and then not a real surprise at all. I love that Miyazaki didn't show. He had better shit to do.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to travel all the way there.
He's like, I don't need your goddamn Oscar. Just fucking ship it out here.
Yeah.
You pieces of shit. I don't know why. I don't think Miyazaki would be that way. I just imagine him riding a Harley. Just mail me the Oscar, you fucks. You don't think that's how it is?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
No.
Badass Miyazaki. Da. Sorry.
It's a good vision.
Yeah, I think that's the way I like to remember him. Like he's dead. That's the way he lives, like a badass.
That's the way he lives
with
in
a
all
heart
of
of
our
gold.
hearts.
Then we had a writing original screenplay, and this was presented weirdly enough by Octavia Spencer and Melissa McCarthy. A recombination here of Thunder Force for some reason.
You said a best original screenplay?
Yeah, writing original screenplay.
Oh, writing original.
Yeah.
It's Anatomy of the Fall.
It's Anatomy of the Fall. You were so excited, like you just found out again. It was it's Anatomy of the Fall. Like, we were there, man. We saw it. It's okay. So yeah, it was Anatomy of the Fall, and that was a good win.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I want to.
Then
That seemed pretty cool.
Then they also presented Adapted, and that ended up going to American Fiction, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and that was the one that I wanted to win. That was one of the few that I got right on the night where I didn't go with Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah.
We had a makeup and hairstyle that was presented by Michael Keaton and Catherine O'Hara. Both look great, even though they're really getting up there.
Poor Things won.
Poor Things won. Poor Things pulled down a lot of these awards. It's a lot of technical awards tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Production design, also presented by Keaton and O'Hara. I think that was also won by Poor Things.
That's right.
And then after that, we had costume design. And this was actually a fun bit. This was presented by John Cena, butt naked.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, this was a fun segment.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, this was a fun segment. I thought they leaned into it, and I thought they had enough fun with it, so it worked for me.
And he did that naked.
Yeah, he did that, and he just was in a cock sock. That's all he had. That's the technical term, is cock sock.
Yeah,
You can say that on TV because it's really what it's called, the cock sock.
very well.
Yeah, because you put it on a rooster, so it's fine.
I don't think that's how you treat
Yeah.
a rooster.
Yeah. You put the sock on their head, keeps them warm.
I think it's for your penis.
No. It's for warming roosters.
Whatever.
Get your mind out. You don't have to. No. You don't. So anyway, yeah. So that. Oh, by the way, I think that was Poor Things.
Poor
correct?
Things won.
Yeah, Poor
3 in a row.
Stop talking about John Cena's penis.
I'm not talking. I
Then
would like
international.
to see it.
The show's off the rails. So, we have international feature film that was presented by The Rock and Bad Bunny.
Yeah, that was Zone of Interest. Jonathan Glazer won.
Not a real big surprise. Zone of Interest ended up winning the award. Is this the one that had the controversial speech?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about Gaza and
A lot of people lost their minds about it.
yeah.
And well, people from different parts of the world might feel differently than you do about things. Doesn't mean you're an asshole or anything like that. You're allowed to feel how you want to feel about it.
Yeah.
But I think, that was his time to speak. And a lot of times people get vindicated. I think Michael Moore said a lot about the Gulf War when he won an award, I think, for Bowling for Columbine. And he was booed at the time. He was booed. And I think now we can look back and realize a lot of his criticism at the time was correct. Granted, I'm no big Michael Moore fan, but he was right. The war in Iraq was wrong, and we weren't going to find weapons of mass destruction, and we found those. So, that was, I think that's something that needs to be remembered, I think, if somebody gets a negative reaction. Now, he got a good reaction in the room, correct?
Yeah.
I don't believe he got any boos or anything like that. There was nothing that negative like there was then. But there was a lot of it played up in the media. I think it's a very controversial topic here at the time. If you're going to go back and listen to it in this years from now, there's currently fighting in the
Gaza?
Gaza, thank you. Thank you. You left me hanging there. Yeah, I see you just watch me like, good, yeah, fail on the microphone.
Jesus Christ, what kind of person do you think I am?
So, yeah, there's fighting in Gaza right now, and, you know, people feel how they feel about it, and they get upset if somebody doesn't agree with them. So, it is a strange issue, but listen, it's how he felt, and that's his time. You win an Academy Award, you get the world on a platter for a minute. You get their attention, so good on him.
Yeah.
But
he was incredibly nervous, is what they were saying.
Yeah, well, he did a great job. He made a great speech. Then after that, we had actor in a supporting role, and this was presented by Sam Rockwell, Tim Robbins, Kehu Kwan, Christoph Waltz, and Mahershala Ali.
You said best supporting actor?
Yes, I did say best supporting actor.
Guess who won?
That was Shaquille O'Neal, right? Shaquille O'Neal wins his first Academy Award.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's right. They went back and they said, we saw Kazam, and we know that Kazam is the greatest movie ever made.
Yeah.
And we would like to present you with supporting. Not even the lead, even though it's named after you. But just the supporting Academy Award. That is not what happened.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Come on down.
Iron Man himself ends up winning an Academy Award. This was
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, this is for Oppenheimer. This is probably the least surprising thing in the night. I think he was predicted to win pretty much at every turn. I think he pulled in the award everywhere, as far as I can tell. He's great in the movie. It's about time he finally won an Academy Award.
Yeah.
It was long due. It was a nice moment. He made a great little speech.
Yeah, it was overdue.
Yeah, it was one of the better moments of the night. Then after that, we had visual effects, but that was presented by Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, which necessarily wasn't about twins. The joke was about them both being Batman villains for the first Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're both scared of Michael Keaton, even though that wasn't.
But everybody in the
That
room,
wasn't Schwarzenegger's Batman.
not including me, well, including me, but not in the room, that is. I thought of twins too when they came out. That's the first
Yeah,
thing I
twins
thought.
is what you would think of.
Not the Batman villains.
No, not the Batman villains at all.
They should have done a twins joke.
They should have done more of that, but I think they leaned into what they had because Michael Keaton was there, I guess. I mean, it was fine. It was whatever. It's good to see those guys together.
Yeah. So best visual effects were Godzilla -1, which you got to see.
Yeah, and I was really thrilled with. This is a lower budget movie that really truly has fantastic effects. This movie is able to outduel movies that have quadruple the budget. You know, this movie had better effects than what we saw in Quantumania.
Hmm.
Really very impressive work. I'm glad they were able to get the Academy Award. And they got played off stage. After that, we had film editing also presented by Schwarzenegger and DeVito. And that was Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I was about to say I
That was Oppenheimer. That was a first-time winner. I just forgot her name.
Jennifer Lame.
Yeah, Jennifer Lame.
Could be LeMay.
Jennifer Lame. Jennifer Lame was able to win her first.
Lame, so you would say lame, but
Yeah.
that might not be. It could be
Lame.
LeMay.
So, she's only going to become, her name will only become more extravagant as the show continues. Soon I'll be, and then Lindsay Lame. That's not even her name, but it's not even Lindsay. It's Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Jennifer
LeMay.
Jennifer LeMay. But she won. Oppenheimer's brilliantly edited. I'm glad she did.
Her first Academy Award, I believe.
It is her first
Yeah.
Academy Award. Documentary short. This was presented by Kate McKinnon and America Ferrera. This was won by The Last Repair Shop. That's on Disney Plus. Even though it's on Disney Plus, I haven't seen it, but I would recommend that you do. It's clearly good enough to win an Academy Award, so it's probably worth your time.
Yeah.
Then after that, for documentary feature, Kate McKinnon and America Ferrera, they presented the winner.
Best doc?
Yeah, and the winner was Highlander.
No.
Yeah, Highlander, very realistic documentary about immortals that walk and live among us. There could be only one of them, even though there's like a bunch. And some of them get along, even though there can be only one. It's not really that clear.
20 days in Mariupol.
28 days in Mariupol.
20 days.
20 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's about the Ukrainian war.
Isn't this where the speech was made?
No, this was a different speech.
This is a different speech.
Yeah.
Okay. This is about Ukraine.
Yeah, this is about Ukraine.
Okay.
Remember, we're in two wars.
We're in two different. I got my wars confused. Happens all the time here in America. Oh, I'm sorry. I got my conflict that we're pointlessly involved in for some reason.
Yeah. It's great.
I mean, yeah, go Ukraine. Well, fuck Putin, but fuck us being there.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Okay, so the show continued on with presentation of sound. I'm sorry. We had I got ahead of myself there. We have cinematography. This was presented by Zendaya. Zendaya. Am I saying it wrong?
I think it's Zendaya.
The guy said Zendaya, and nobody seemed to correct him, even though he was the announcer. Like it wasn't like Don Pardo was going to kind of go, "It's Zendaya," and then like slide out.
I don't know.
Even though I'd love that.
I guess it's whatever you want it to be.
I don't think that's how that works, but sure, it's whatever you want it to be.
And that was won by Oppenheimer.
Not a big surprise. Oppenheimer looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yes, it was shot on film, and that does help. At one point, he was like, shooting on film was not hard. Shooting on film is very difficult. It is much, much easier to shoot on digital.
Hoyt van Hoytema.
Yes.
Hoytema.
Then we had a live action short, and that was presented by Issa Rae and Rami Youssef. And that was the Wes Anderson, a win.
The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Yeah, a very Wes Anderson sounding title.
Yeah.
And Wes Anderson also was not there. Too cool for school.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
is.
fuck, I'm not showing up for a short. Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Give me the award for Asteroid City, which you hated.
I didn't hate it.
You despised it.
I didn't like it as much as I
You took a dump in a box, and then you packed it up, and you mailed it to Wes Anderson and said, "Regards, Asteroid City."
You know what? Let's keep that.
Yeah, I think that's your official review of Asteroid City. After that, we had sound, and this was a great bit. This was John Mulaney, and he did just a really great bit talking about Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
This is one of the funnier bits of the night. Field of Dreams should win an Academy Award, but they'll probably go with one of this year's. It really was. He did a great bit. Got a huge laugh in the house. This was the sound where they just talked about earlier. Where I talked about earlier.
Yeah, the zone of interest.
The zone of interest. And you'd really tried to show off the quality of the sound effects work in this one. Then after that, we had music. And that was presented by the Wicked co-stars, Ariana Grande, and a person I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Cynthia Irvo? I don't know her. Sorry.
Okay.
My apologies to her. But they presented this one. Music. So who won original score? Was it Oppenheimer? No. Was it me?
Oppenheimer.
It was Oppenheimer. John Williams
took 7 awards.
No.
Oppenheimer did.
John Williams was screwed entirely. No, he's won tons of Academy Awards. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer.
It's going to be fine.
Oppenheimer was, well, it wasn't real sweet because I think Poor Things did really well. Maestro was the movie that got shit on.
Yeah, fuck Maestro.
Yeah, Maestro. I thought Maestro was fine.
It was fine.
Then we had actor in a leading role. This was presented by Nicolas Cage, Matthew McConaughey, Brendan Fraser, Ben Kingsley, and Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, and no surprise, Cillian Murphy took the
Cillian Murphy pulled in. I thought Giamatti.
I thought Giamatti could.
I thought really he had a good chance to take it, but this was Oppenheimer's night. Like these are the Oppenheimer Awards. That's just how they're going to be looked at in years to come. And this is one of the things that really helped push it over. Poor Things, because I thought Poor Things. At one point in the night, I thought this is going to be Poor Things' night, and it just didn't really go that way.
They won a lot of technical awards.
They did, but they didn't pull out really the big ones, except for the one that they were a shoo-in for the most part.
Yeah.
So, they did pull this one out. Oppenheimer does end up pulling out Best Actor. Cillian Murphy gets his first Academy Award. Then after that, we had directing, and this was presented by Steven Spielberg. This was a real passing of the torch moment because this went to Christopher Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Nolan gets his first Academy Award. I don't think Oppenheimer is his strongest movie, but it's kind of like with Scorsese. I don't think, not Internal Affairs, that's the name of the original.
The Departed?
The Departed. I don't think The Departed is his finest work, but that's okay. Like you get an Academy Award for whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with this one. Like this movie was a giant hit, so I'm glad that Nolan finally gets his Academy Award. It's a very cool moment as a guy who makes sort of artistic movies, but he also does make big, gigantic blockbusters.
Yeah, he's great at doing the blockbuster thing.
Yeah.
He really is. And that's a art in itself. I'm not the biggest fan, but I can certainly appreciate him as a director of huge blockbusters. It takes a special director for that.
Yeah, no, I just really loved the moment, in all honesty. Like, it just was nice with Spielberg presenting the little smiles. He's like Christopher Nolan, you know, him going up there and finally getting the recognition that he deserves. You know, you're always sort of surprised about a lot of great directors who really just didn't win an Academy Award. You know, a lot of those, or even contemporary directors you think of that have been nominated but haven't even come close, like Paul Thomas Anderson or somebody like that. And technically Wes Anderson wins his first Academy Award, but like he's a guy who didn't really have one before tonight. So, and now to think Nolan finally has his, like that's a really good thing. So
Yeah.
we had actress in a leading role, and that was presented by Sally Field, Jennifer Lawrence, Michelle Yeoh, Charlize Theron, Jessica Lange.
It's Theron.
Theron.
Theron. It's just Theron.
Theron. That's what I said.
No.
Yeah.
It's not LeMay.
Yeah.
Probably lame.
Yeah, she brought Theron in case LeMay shows up.
Emma Stone takes Best Actress.
This was not a surprise. Emma Stone was predicted to win pretty much every award. Lily Gladstone did sneak out a few here and there. By the way, I did want to mention Leonardo DiCaprio did not attend the award show.
Dude, you're right.
Yeah, he did not attend the award show, so it would have been a shame had Lily Gladstone won and he wasn't around for a high five or a hug or
whatever.
a reach around. I don't know. I don't know.
Wonder why he stayed home.
I guess he knew he wasn't going to win.
He was like, fuck that shit. I'm not getting all dressed up. My model girlfriends.
Yeah, he was on a beach somewhere, getting a blowjob while playing Call of Duty. Did you ever read that article? Did I send you that one where it talks about like his bedroom activities and stuff like that?
Mm-mm.
Like that's like what he does. He'll like lean back and he'll use his vape and like just listen to like a podcast while like some model rides him or whatever. Just completely out of the moment.
Wow.
This is how the other half lives. This is why you can't date a woman over 25. They probably demand a little bit more attention during that as opposed to just like an occasional puff of whatever he's smoking at that moment in time. Which you can't believe everything you read, but I will believe that to my dying day. But yes, that's right.
Good stuff.
Yes, Emma Stone wins for Poor Things. Not a big surprise, but that does take us to our final award of the night. And that's Best Picture presented by an energetic, if somewhat lost, Al Pacino.
Poor guy. He's had 8 kids and he just had his last one.
Al Pacino looked ancient. Robert De Niro looked so grumpy all night. I want to mention that as well. Like comparing those two old guys, Robert De Niro, like every time they cut to him, he was just like, ugh. Like that was like the perfect, like the permanent expression on his face. He was like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino in the first 20 minutes. That was his entire scowl the entire night. But Al Pacino came in, also seemed 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
And stumbled through there and really botched the reading of it. My eyes see Oppenheimer. Like, and the thing is, he read it in such a surprising way. Like the technical crew didn't realize he had like read it because it took them like what 3 seconds before they hit the music.
Yeah.
And like the graphic came on, the guy go Oppenheimer wins the Academy.
I think they were surprised.
Yeah, because I believe he's supposed to read out the nominees.
Yeah.
He's supposed to read out everything and just goes, and the nominees are fucking Oppenheimer one. Hooah!
Yeah, he takes the whole card apart and everything.
Yeah, he really did. It's like, I don't know what he was doing, but it did add a little liveliness to
He had a peepaw moment.
To the final award. Yes, he had an old man moment.
Yeah.
And then he wet himself.
Oh, that's sad. I don't want Al Pacino to wet himself.
I want you to know, every movie star you ever loved or respected, at some point they wet themselves if they got too old.
Well, yes, we've all shit ourselves. So.
Bill Murray's probably wetting himself right now, except he's doing it with a Japanese hooker underneath him.
Ew.
Well, okay, fine. Chinese hooker.
No, I'm just...
Scandinavian, sure.
It doesn't matter what kind of hooker it is. It's just gross.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought your issue was with hooker choice.
No.
Okay, my mistake. I'm sorry. You're fine with any hooker.
Any hooker.
Any hooker will be fine in that scenario.
Whatever.
It's just the scenario is what you have a problem with.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
The whole scenario.
That's right. You're pro hooker, though. So that was the whole show. The big takeaway of the night is Meredith is pro hooker.
Sex worker.
Sex worker. Andy, you'd correct me. So, I liked the Academy Awards. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed most of the broadcast. I was never really bored. We had the great performance of most of the songs. Billie Eilish ended up winning her category.
Yeah, and her performance was really good, and she's such a good singer.
And obviously Ryan Gosling stole the show.
Oh yeah, everybody's talking about that today.
Yeah, everything about that was really great. A real fun, entertaining show and a great performance. I mean, just I never found myself really bored during the broadcast, and that's kind of impressive if you really think about it. You know, we'd
We're
watch,
a word show.
yeah, because we watched SNL the night before, and I was bored many times during Saturday Night Live,
I'm always bored.
and there were a few gems on that show. I think it opened up pretty strong.
Mm.
Ariana Grande was great in that Moulin Rouge skit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good skit.
Yeah, but she can sing, so
Yeah, and that's like
that helps.
that's like one of my favorite musical numbers of all time that they were parodying.
You like that one?
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite musicals ever, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I love that movie.
I do too.
Yeah, we should go watch Moulin Rouge right now. Why didn't Moulin Rouge win an Academy Award the other night, huh? I'll tell you why. Racism.
Or it's an old movie.
It's an old movie. It was nominated back in the day for an Academy Award. It
Probably
was.
best song or something.
No, it was nominated for Best Picture.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, Baz Luhrmann got a nod. It was a big movie that year. It came out 2003, 2002.
Mm.
I'll have to take a look, but
Let's talk about our socials that we fail to talk about every time
this is
now.
our other show. Hey, at least we introduced ourselves and that we have a show.
Yeah.
My favorite are when we just hit the intro and we just like, hey, everybody, and then we just start talking about the topic. We never say who we are. We never say what the show's called. We never talk about what the topic might be. We're just like, hey, guess what's great? So McCready goes in the bin and he finds some bloody clothes. Just straight into it.
It's the way to go.
So, yes, if you want to get a hold of us and let us know that we do the show in the most bass-ackwards format there could ever be, you could look us up at Gritty Reboot on Instagram and TikTok, or you can email at grittyrebootcast@gmail.com. I don't know why you'd email, but you do have the option. But using Instagram and TikTok probably be the safest way to go about it.
Yeah.
You can also look for me, Illusionist13 on Twitter or X. And you can find Meredith. What's your handle on X?
I don't have an X account.
That's right. Fuck X.
I don't have any social medias.
I'm somehow
except for
shitting on.
Facebook.
That's right. I'm shitting on DMX Beyond the Grave.
You can try to find me on Facebook.
You can try to find her on Facebook, but I wouldn't do it. You just see images of her eating pizzas.
No, it's got our logo.
Our logo. Oh yeah, it does have our logo. We got to get a new logo.
Yeah, we do.
We got to get a new logo. This one's got to have a boot in it.
We've adapted.
Yeah. We need 2 boots.
We need to have some nails
I want
and some tacks.
Yeah.
And some rope,
I want
chains, and some barbed wire.
I want our logo to be Billy Zane drinking champagne out of a boot.
I don't think he would like that.
Why not?
Probably have to pay him.
No, you don't. You should have a Billy Zane-esque knockoff. You get Arnold Vosloo to pretend to be Billy Zane, and nobody would ever know the difference. They just assume, because you always assume Billy Zane was the mummy.
They look so similar.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They're just bald. What do you think, George Costanza was in the mummy? Jesus Christ.
No, he's bald in a different way.
Oh, he's bald in a different way. Thank you. And with that is Bald in a Different Way, the podcast. All right, guys. We'll see you next week when we continue more of our movie shenanigans. Jumanji.
Yep.